You're listening to 91 Reasons, a journey into the twisted landscape of pop culture. Keep your hands and arms inside the podcast at all times. And now, the voice, Jeff Tucker.
To the Homestuck 91 Reasons special series, if it is special anymore, as we are on episode 27 of this.
27!
And finally back from yet another hiatus, but this one wasn't really planned, it just sort of happened. Jeff, would you care to fill us in on...
I think you ended up in Hollywood with a dinosaur.
Yes. Last week, I had to walk around Hollywood and Highland for the premiere of Jurassic World. I had a Velociraptor puppet that I was walking. You know, I'll put it on the Facebook page if you're dying to know what this looked like. But we got on the news. We were promoting a convention we're going to be at later this summer. It's called Scare LA. That's going to be a lot of fun. But between that and our house being completely under construction, we simply had no time to do an episode. So that being said, you guys must have tons of material to get to, because we're going to do this week's episode will just be catch up of all the news. Next week we will continue watching Collab Homestuck Act 3.
Act 3, you gotta watch like the second third of it.
We want to thank Vriska again, who's our Patreon supporter for that. But we've got tons of news this week because you guys have 2 weeks to fill up.
Not of updates. The week we missed was the same week Hussey took off. There's only been a few updates since the last episode.
But there has been Homestuck
there has
news.
Been stuff. A lot of stuff.
All right, so without further ado, Homestuck news begins with you guys. Well, let's welcome to 91 Reasons, blah, blah, blah. This show is this. I'm the voice. I'm Jeff, and you are...
Austin.
Luna.
And together we're going to get together and talk about Homestuck. And and we were gone a week, and we're back, and here's the news.
What went first?
I don't think anything happened.
Nothing happened.
There was no Hive Swap news of any sort.
No, because we were on hiatus. Hive Swap news can only happen the day after we do a show. So tomorrow will be nothing nice for that.
There was no merchandise of any sort.
Rachel's doing a giveaway for the book.
Yeah, the Paradox Space book.
So some nice eBay things. A lot of new eBay.
There is some beautiful eBay things. Jeff, you have to see these things on eBay.
eBay.
Open up eBay and type in Homestuck.
We're doing this again. How long has it been since we've done this?
This was like episode 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
That was the Jake English body pillow.
It's escalated straight into the Uncanny Valley. I made a post about one of the things on Reddit.
Uncanny Valley's down. It escalate down.
It does now, because this is it. Like, those...
Homestuck?
Yeah, even the stuff that is normal, the sheer amount of it is just insane. Because, look, we got a necklace, we got a wig. The horns are handmade, obviously, but there's a lot of mass-produced stuff from China that's just being made. Look at the signless necklaces.
That's the What Pumpkin store picture with a really bad watermark put over it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're on eBay and you steal someone's image and you put a watermark on it, boom, that's your image.
It's yours now.
That's how it works.
And then we even have knockoff T-sorts. Like, scroll down. There's a knockoff Solix sort.
Yeah, no, not knockoff. Inspired by Homestuck.
See, look, the edges are curved and it's a little bigger. Hussey doesn't do rounded edges. His are pixelated, so it's different.
It's inspired. Okay.
Hussey can't copyright zodiacs or colors.
Why? Hold on. Okay, we need to describe this.
That is a flask with a picture of a tornado with Carcat's face.
No, it's just a little Scrabble thing for your necklace about that big.
Oh, it looks like, okay.
Yeah, it's not, that's not a spout.
That's not a spout.
That's where you put the necklace through.
It's a dog tag. It's a dog tag of Tornado Carcat.
It's a tornado with Carcat's face on it. Why?
Carcat's face on things. It's a Tumblr blog. It's a meme.
But why are they mass-producing these? These are not handmade. These are being made in a factory somewhere.
Made to order.
Okay, continue scrolling. Okay, so we got some cosplay stuff.
Cosplay.
Another knockoff sort.
It's inspired.
Rounded edges. Those edges are rounded. It's fine.
Okay.
More Scrabble tile.
More Scrabble tiles.
More inspired. Wigs.
Ooh, those
more
wigs.
Inspired.
We got a Solix tile that says 3D dude on it. 3D dude.
3D dude.
Who is 3D dude?
That's 3D dude. The other ones like 3D dude are amazing. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Hello, Carcat.
Hello, Carcat.
Describe what this is.
This is a Scrabble tile. Another one. You can put it on a wing or a pendant. It's got Hello Kitty with Carcat's face on it.
Yep.
This is a legitimate real product
Yep.
that is being made.
Now, you would buy this.
Yes.
And you would wear this.
Oh, yes.
See, they're playing on kitty, cat, car, cat, hello,
cat.
car, cat.
But
Cat.
why?
There's so many other cat-based characters.
Why would
They're
they-
actually cats?
Why would they do this? Why? Why does that exist? It's just
What does the Gamzee one below it say?
let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle.
These are great.
Let's wrestle. Oh my.
You know it's a slow news week, then this is what we're doing.
No. We're going to play a game. Have you clicked on these?
A few of them.
Where are they
There's
from?
a lot of
Do you
newer
know?
Ones. No.
Okay, where do you think this is from?
China being mass
But it
produced.
says crafted by Wa Guru to you or somebody.
Oh.
So you're going to say China. Where do you think, Luna?
It's somewhere in Germany,
All right, wait,
Switzerland,
wait.
or something.
Boom, Austin, Texas.
Texas?
I told you, it's somebody.
Someone in Texas is making those
Item
things?
location, Austin, Texas.
Oh.
See, they take a Scrabble tile, they put a little thing. Oh, this is a ring.
That one's a
or
ring.
a pendant, and then they put some sort of gloss thing on the front. Does he ever say "Let's wrestle"?
No.
No.
No
What
one
is-
ever says let's wrestle. No one. Ever.
Well, then what is it?
We don't know.
Let's wrestle. Look, go scroll down. I think they have links to their other ones. They're just as baffling.
Yeah, this
Just
person
look-
makes every kind of.
Okay.
There's Five
This is a
Nights
big-
at Freddy's with a picture of Gamzee.
This is Five Nights at Freddy's bingo chip with Gamzee. Here's what I would bet. I would bet. I don't know.
They don't look
You-
like.
You'd have to buy it to see, but I would bet they're in China and they've only put Texas to try to fool you. Because everything
the
about
shipping
this,
rates.
everything about this says China.
Yeah. And I don't even see the only real image of it doesn't show the Homestuck stuff. This is a generic image that's on everyone.
Right, and also, this thing is about as big as I'm holding my fingers apart like half an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$3, $2.65 to ship. This should be $1.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff I get out of China, I don't know what scam they're running, but they don't pay. There's no shipping. And I bought stuff. I bought that Google viewer from China, $1.85 shipped. I don't know how they make any money.
This is $8.95 plus $3.65 shipping for a Scrabble tile.
Scrabble tile with a computer printout on it.
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Hello Vendetta. Hello Dude Big Lebowski. Why is he a
What?
tornado?
Carcat's face on things is a Tumblr. They've been going on for years. They just put his face on different stuff. So they just randomly picked a tornado picture and put it on there.
Do you think this is a somebody actually sitting and making these, or is this a I don't think they make this till you buy it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any stock of this
I've
anywhere.
only seen photoshopped image. I've never seen a physical picture.
It's
of
all
one.
the same Photoshop image, whatever it is. So, hey, if you're listening and you make these Homestuck things and somehow you've stumbled on a 91 Reasons, okay, we're going to give your store a shout out. Go to eBay. The name of the shop is Pendants, Rings, and Things. And the name of the seller is Waheguru_2_you. So WAHEGURU_TO_YOU. Hey everyone, now I'm selling Scrabble pendants and rings and domino pendants, keychains, and magnets. Suggestions are always welcome. If that's you, I would love to call you on the phone, interview, and see, are people buying these Homestuck things? And what's it like to get a cease and desist letter from Andrew Hussey? Just curious.
Okay, on the Reddit today, Rachel posted about her giveaway of the PXS book. So there's literally that Carcat kitty thing, and then right below it, a post by Rachel.
So she saw
So
it.
she's seen it.
Okay, do I need to look at more Homestuck stuff, or is that what you wanted to talk about?
That was the major thing. Was there anything else?
Just more T-shirts.
There's a baffling amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Ceiling Nepeta is watching you fill buckets. That is so awful. Oh my god. And what is, he's a bee?
He's a grub and
Oh,
a
he's
bee.
a grub.
That's
Okay.
Grub Solix.
Oh, they have a Noping
John
John.
Noping. That's not even from the comic.
See-
It's from a different comic.
They're making knockoff
What
Cronus.
does Vriska say?
Hold on, I'm trying to see. Vriska in this one says, sup.
Sup. That was before this update.
Sup.
We've seen that one before this update.
I like that one. That was not bad.
Carcat's
Carcat's
face. That's
face.
not Carcat's face. I don't know whose face that
That's
is.
not Carcat.
It's just some dude. So, anyways.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in Homestuck land?
Newswise,
in
officially?
the comic?
You
Or
tell
what?
you. This is the update. Let's go. Come on.
All right, so we got a character
In the
select.
comic, Hussey has forgotten any rule he set up. He's breaking every logical saying of the comic setup. He just doesn't care about the world he set up anymore. But it's okay, because the characters today were like, these aren't the rules that the comic has set up anymore. So he's making fun of himself. That makes all his bad writing okay, right?
Yeah,
you make fun of
yourself. It's okay.
Yeah, as long as you make fun of yourself, it's fine.
Yes.
I am so lost. Because I wrote a giant rant on Reddit about how I didn't like the updates.
And then an hour later, the characters in the comic were ranting about how they didn't like the update. So your problems are void. You're supposed to feel those problems. He meant for you to feel like that.
I don't know. This Homestuck is so confusing. Like, I'm annoyed with these updates, but I'm supposed to be annoyed with these updates.
Yeah.
Because the characters are annoyed with these updates. And we actually had another thing. Like, I've mentioned 1,000 times in the show that Carcat Land, where he mentions being in a comic and goes full meta. Well, Rose just did it.
Rose did it.
An exact rant like that.
Yep.
Well, she says
She
he knows.
doesn't know she's in a fictional comic. She's just really upset that her life isn't working out like a fictional story. That this doesn't feel like the end of a big, epic quest. It just feels like more of life.
Yeah.
She says we should be getting payoffs for things. Everyone here should have a role to play in the final moments of our story. But it's not. It's not working out like that, because it's just boring normal life again.
So, C doesn't like the ending of the comic.
No, because not everything's getting a payoff like it should.
I
And things are happening for no reason.
Yeah, like Japo's white squared.
Yeah, Hussey keeps bringing up things that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, he could never mention Wizardy Herbert again. We'd just say it's okay. Now he's mentioning Wizardy Herbert again, so he's got to do a payoff for it now. He doesn't just remind us of stuff.
He also had Japo's white menacing game over Kanaya, and that has to be brought up again now.
Yeah. The game over selves didn't have to be mentioned at all, but now they're plot important again.
I don't even know. Like, where was he going with this? He didn't have to do the retcon thing. He could have normally, but I don't know. At first I was upset. Now I'm just confused. Because like I first went, oh wait, Carcat and Kanai aren't speaking without Gift of Gap. You know what? I'm gonna let that one slide. Okay.
I'm not gonna let that slide.
Hussey's talking through the narrative without using the Super Carter's expansion pack.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I'm gonna let that slide. Okay, Dork and Dave don't have gas masks on the planet. I'm not gonna let that one slide. That's
But they're
it.
on the rooftop, and the Tricksters were fine on the rooftop.
That's Twixters. It doesn't
But
count.
Vriska was there too, and Gamzee and Dirk for a few minutes. So it's happened before. There's just no logical explanation for it still. We assume the gas stays down, even though gas rises, but if the gas stays down,
I don't even know.
The
And then
kryptonite
the
doesn't
worst
go up.
one, the one that just And you know what? As much as I used to not like the theories, I've actually been reading BYB speculation on the updates now, and they pointed out something that I'm like, oh my god, thank you for pointing that out, because that is now I can't not look at it. I don't know how I didn't catch that the first time, because it bothers me so much. Dork medicines things that happened to the before Game Over Dork. That doesn't make any sense.
He mentioned that some crazy troll prototyped his sprite while he had his back turned. That didn't happen in either one. He was fully aware it was happening in both.
He just said his sprite, he turned his back around and then bam, this crazy sprite's here.
Yeah, which happened with Equius Sprite in the pre-retcon. Post-retcon, Vriska tapped him on the shoulder, then did it, so he knew.
And that was the final scene of that flash. They wanted us to look at that moment and acknowledge it, like it was important. Like, it's important in this timeline that Dork saw a Aqueous sprite being made.
Yeah.
Yet, in this timeline, he says he had his back
remember,
turned.
this is probably the same Dirk who's going to end up in the claymation battle with Caliborn, where, according to Caliborn, Dirk was really surprised that this weird red guy was here and he didn't know who he was.
But that doesn't make any sense either, because there's not even any timeline where Dirk hasn't seen Aqueous.
No.
He knows about Aqueous.
He was very surprised to see him there. We can assume the only thing that would make sense is if Dirk believes this Arceus blows up and dies, and it's pre-retcon Arceus. But now they're both gone.
It confuses me so much, because we got one timeline where he sees Aqueous. He turns his back, Aqueous gets made. He turns around, he saw the Aqueous is made, and it's just, why did this happen? We have another timeline where he saw it happen. He saw it take place. And then he says, the same Doc says that he didn't see it happen, even though he did see it happen. And then Caliborn mentions that Doc has never seen him in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know.
The other big thing that happened is they showed the unprototyped Colonel. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of was crying somewhere, and we're celebrating here.
All his theories are out of the window because of this.
Yeah, because it means that there are two sets of cherubs, which means that Alt Callie is like post-retcon Callie, not doomed Callie. She's just as canon alpha as regular Callie.
And this is because Jake's Colonel
And this-
didn't become an aerosol,
Uh-huh.
and Caliborn chatted about aerosol. He knows about aerosol,
So that
yet
means there
aerosol
must
never
be
existed.
a post-retcon Caliborn that didn't talk about aerosol, which means two canon alpha cherubs.
So we met the other Calliope.
We've met Callie normal, Caliborn normal, and Alt Callie. Alt Caliborn has never been mentioned or shown ever, but he exists.
Could he be the most important character imaginable?
Maybe Hussey won't mention him, but we would know where that's been going with Grease and stuff. Hussey's mentioning everything.
He'll probably mention him and then have to show him.
Yeah.
Ah.
Where's Alt Callie's brother? Come on.
You know, for one, I didn't expect this update to be interesting. Like, what else can you do on the lily pad? Well, you can get really meta and confusing. I don't even know anymore. Oh my goodness. Where is he going with this?
Well,
this is not how you end a comic
You
at
know
all.
exactly where he's gonna go with this tomorrow. To punk Vriska and Mina.
That's not where you go after this at all.
There's a chance we might see where Aradia and Solix are, so just stay with it.
Yeah.
He's reminded that there's 4 Solixes and 2 Aradias.
Oh.
Because the unprototyped Colonel pretty much confirms double meteor theory.
What's double media theory?
That the meteor went for 3 years, rebooted and went for 3 years, and the ghost never changed. Because Punk Vriska's there too.
We also know that because Meetabound never happened.
Mm-hmm.
None of that ever happened. Well, these Alpha Trolls talked with the characters because it was the same Alpha Trolls. So, like, Rufio, he was walking by, all the Meteor gang came, he talked to them, still had problems with Damara, hung around a bit, another group of Meteor after the Retcon came, and they helped him repair his relationship with Damara.
Yeah, because him and Tamar are together in Vriskagram.
Yeah. It's not like they rewrote history and Rufio and Damara never had an issue when they went to the afterlife. They've always been there.
They've had more time.
They've had more time, yeah. And I was talking on the Reddit about how one of the problems there with Retcon's gone is that Meetabound's gone. No more Meetabound. And they said, no, Meetabound happened fine. Nothing could have disrupted that.
Well, no, it already happened.
It already happened.
It happened to the ghosts, but not to the kids. If that makes any sense, it does.
The kids ended up in the Dream Bubbles fast again, saying, oh, we're going to meet these new trolls.
Yeah.
Yet,
all the ghosts are really confused because they've already done all this, but it's not like they've been 1,000 other doomed old selves.
Yeah, it's the same poem, the same horse, you know.
Yeah, they talked about all the time that you meet people who never got to the point of meeting you, and you have to go through it all again.
Yep.
So.
And the other thing with Meetabound is, like, how can you expect it to happen again if the Mina that it all happened to is with Vriska? Mm-hmm. It's not gonna create another Mina. The Dream Bubbles aren't affected. Even John said that.
Yeah.
That Mina and Vriska weren't affected. Remember?
The only thing, the thing that matters most is that Solix used his powers to move the meteor to the green sun, died, was reset. He moved his powers to the green sun meteor and died. So there's 4 Solixes. He split twice. And there's 2 Aradias because she stayed behind on the meteor both times. She stayed behind the sun.
Yeah.
The only thing that doesn't make sense. There's one thing that doesn't make sense in that theory at all. 0. Nothing. Does not make sense at all. The Green Sun's creation. The Green Sun was created. Rose and Dave rise up out of its flames and land on the meteor, and they fly off. And then what happens? Another Rose and Dave rise from the ashes? Is it the Green Sun created twice? Did they come out at the same time and things were really awkward the second time around? We didn't see it?
Can there not be 2 Green Suns?
No, the Green Sun's the center.
Oh.
There's not 2 Skyas, there was just a dead Skya the second time around.
That's what makes this really confusing. Because, like, I thought when the Retcon thing happened, it just rewrites history. There never was a non-Retcon version. John and Roxy just exist by breaking the boundaries of reality. But there is, because of that Colonel.
But there is, because of the Colonel, because of Punk Vriska and Mina, and because of Rufio and Damara, and because of Horace.
Kankui, all of them.
Yeah. They also have their memories.
Hmm.
I'm trying to work it. It's weird. The thing is that it's a 3-year gap. So the Green Sun's created Rose and Dave rise out, meet the trolls on the meteor flies off. Then 3 years later, the Green Sun's created again, they rise up and meet the trolls and fly out.
But
time doesn't make sense in Dream Bubbles. But except that retcon time does work like that. It was 3 years in comic and in the real world and in Paradox Space. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. And that is such a weird thing. It's such a one specific point in the comic a while ago that Hussey could just not bring it up.
but that's always going to be a plot hole. He even said there's not going to be any plot holes after the Casey thing. I mean, he said there's bound to be one plot hole, so why not waste it on something dumb?
Yeah.
Yet we have a plot hole.
Oh yeah. There's bound to be one somewhere. An unintentional one.
So, where do we go from here? Next is Punk, Mina, and Whisker. What's going to happen?
Then it's Roxy Callie.
But what does Roxy want to talk to Callie about alone?
I don't know. There's nothing for them to talk about.
We know Roxy section ends with her talking to Kanaya, and that's obviously for the matriarch
Yeah.
to create it.
But she talks to Callie, and then she's alone, and then she's with Kanaya. So what is Roxy... Roxy's doing something.
And then Carcat's asleep.
Carcat's asleep. He's somewhere in Dream Bubbles, and the ongoing thing with people sleeping in this act is that you don't get to see where they go, and they just wake up.
Yeah.
The only exception is Jade.
And Jane.
Jane was already asleep.
Wait, who goes to sleep and you don't see where they go? No one.
No one? I'm trying to think.
No one. That's not an ongoing
Okay.
thing. There's no one that sleeps, you never see where they go. The game over selves is the only exception.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to them. And you can argue that they didn't get a dead screen, so it doesn't count, and they never ended up in the Dream Bubbles, but Terezi did, so C is somewhere in the Dream Bubbles. Will Ciso up again? I wonder.
I don't know.
I mean, this Terezi doesn't
The
really...
simple days when we thought the big Jade's Island battle was going to be the final battle of the comic, and we said, but it can't start. No, Gamgee's going to kill Terezi. Yeah, because they have to have the Scourge Sister one little 5-minute moment in the Dream Bubbles so they can get out of the final battle.
And now
And
look at
Hussey
this.
wrote the whole comic, so the whole comic is Scourge Sisters. Ugh.
Too much Squad Sisters.
And we got the retcon to deal with. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
It's just gone completely out of control. Why would he do this? Well, I find it odd, though, because I can't tell whether he wants to end it or make it going, because he could have ended it with the battle at Jade's Island, and could have ended the comic. But he doesn't. He wants to make it go on longer and do more Squad Sisters. But featuring things like Squad Sisters and Dave Cat, things the fandoms wanted for years, kind of gets me thinking, is he just doing this to sell merchandise?
No telling.
Does
Stalling for Hive Swap to come out.
But I don't understand. Well, didn't he want it end before Hive Swap, but now he's stalling?
Yeah.
I thought he wanted it done. I thought we were going to get
He
an
wants
end.
to line him up
What, the ending of the comic?
with the release of Hive Swap.
Comic is not ending anymore soon at this point. He's put way too much. He has at least another 2 years of content now with what he's done. If he ended it now, no one would be happy. He didn't wrap up anything. He has a lot to do now. Like, a lot of repairing of all the retcon things he did and how much he's taken out.
He did exactly... The narration in is actually a callback. I just realized it from thinking about it right now. He says that the comic's over 9,000 pages now.
Yeah.
Back in early Act 6, he said, we better get to something fast. We're going to get to over 9,000 pages. No one wants to even hear that term around here.
He said
Well,
it.
he finally did it.
And the plot has gone backwards. We've gone backwards. Literally gone backwards. Which kind of brings me to the question. Is anything going to happen in the comic? Or
They're setting up for the battle, like they have been for the past year and a half.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen. They're just going to sit
Hussey
there.
has been setting up battle more than anything. If Problem Sleuth was nothing but the final battle, Homestuck is nothing but setting up for the final battle.
That's never going to happen. You know, the one that since he went backwards in time, the characters have no preparation for? Okay, I have so
At
much...
least Dave says he has Khaled Filch. He said it in yesterday's update.
Yeah.
He needs that for the final battle. We thought he didn't even make it this time.
Yeah, how does he know that it can hold Lord Jack?
I don't know. He just has
That's
something
another
else there.
problem. He only learned that can destroy LE or any LE.
The last weapon he had is
Creature.
the same one he should be using now is Khaled Scratch.
Yeah.
Or at least the golden one. What was it called? What was the golden one he pulled for the chain?
I don't know.
Called? Although he probably lost that in the Green Sun explosion. So I assume Khaled Scratch is what he should be using. But he said it was the Welsh one, Khaled Filch.
He was told that the Welsh one could defeat any Lord English created thing. Something that gets infused with his soul. In the pre-retcon timeline.
Yes. Which Jade created because the cue ball to make it was under the lava on Dave's planet.
And she got it.
Yes. Somehow in this timeline he just has it.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
No.
We have another huge
But
plot
it
hole.
doesn't matter. Because they're at the place to fight the guy, and the guy is coming, and Hussey can't get Dave all the way to Loak to make a sword, and then all the way back, and somewhere in the middle, tell him to make the sword. So, saying he has the sword is a lot easier.
But when you have that in a story, you have to immediately go, oh, I know where he got the sword. Doesn't even need to be sewn. But we don't know where he got the sword. And that is such an important item in the comic. It just is such bad writing. What happened was he went back and he changed all these things with the retcon. By doing that, he's treating these characters as if they remember the retcon. I guarantee, when Carcat has his dream bubble sequence, he's going to mention Seuss, Pap, and Gamzee. And that's when we're all going to get really confused, because that never happened. I wouldn't be shocked if when Carcat ends up with Jade in the dream bubbles, he mentions using her password in Mina Bound, which would completely destroy canon. These characters, I don't know. It's like he wrote them and took out all these key moments and realized, oh man, this is going to destroy character development. I shouldn't have done this. So he just kind of wrote them remembering these things, even though they never even happened to these characters. Like, how do you feel about that? No?
I don't know.
You have nothing on it.
No, I'm just waiting, sitting down and see what happens.
Jeff, do you have anything to say on
The
this?
next screen goes till July. We'll see.
No, because he'll pull a George Lucas and just have a series of scenes near the end that explain it all.
Yeah.
You're talking about
randomly tied
Well,
together.
yeah, why not? You're talking about, well, I don't know how he's going to get from here and get the sword. You never seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey? They're supposed to at the end they're supposed to give a concert to unite the world, but they don't even know how to play their instruments. So what do? They get in the time machine, it disappears, they come back, it's been 10 years. And they know how to play their instruments and they give a concert.
But, like, he made the characters do all these things. And then when he retconned it, the characters didn't experience these events. They never happened. He purposely showed that. Yet the characters talk as if these things happened to him.
Well, he can come down from the sky and go, I gave them their memories back. He ate the memory mushroom. You're really looking for logic?
Did that.
Yeah, there was a character in Homestuck who did that, actually.
Who did what?
Cankry, you're not supposed to have your memories after you scratch the session. One character did for a non-explained reason.
Well, what do you care? You're gonna ruin your brain trying to make sense of somebody. You think he's got a master plan? Like, you think Lucas had a master plan?
But then, like,
no.
If you're saying that Doc remembers his stuff before the retcon, then he said to be fully aware of retcons in John's powers. No, he just remembers that. He's never gonna bring it up that he had these weird memories of
Here you go, canonically. John remembers because he lived it. Roxy remembers it because she lived it. Carcat might because of Cankry powers. Might.
Yeah, but if that happened, if he does remember it, then why is he okay with, like, Whisker bossing around and Whisker having Spade Slick getting killed? Why wouldn't he just walk up to John and just, like, slap him and go on about how horrible his plan is?
Rose might remember because she was able to remember the Dave Sprite timeline with her power. She may use that again. It hasn't been pulled yet, but if Hussey pulled that card, it'd be believable. Jaspro Sprite remembers because she did do that.
And she actually is the doomed Rose from the Dave Sprite timeline.
She's every Rose except for the Game Over Rose. Not the Game Over Rose. She's every Rose except for the post-retcon Rose.
Yeah.
Because when you square a Sprite, you somehow become every version of that character all in one. We don't know.
That is okay.
It doesn't make sense, but who knows? You get omniscience of every of person. She's every Jaspers and every Rose put into one, even though it's only a single one.
That confuses me.
And that may not happen every Rose Sprite, every squared. That may just be the consequence of putting Rose and Jaspers because light and void are opposites, and you get a really wacky person out of that. By combining aspects, you just get something weird.
And then Oadia remembers.
Aradia remembers, and
Solix,
Solix,
Whiskamina.
and the other Solix would remember. if he didn't get wiped as aerosol, if he made it out, he may have exploded or maybe in John's planet.
So basically, everyone's okay except Cockhat, Kanaya, and Dave. The Alpha Kids aren't different enough. It's the same thing that happened to them.
Nothing's changed with them. Except for that one instance with Dirk that's not explained. The rooftop was different.
Jade, he didn't do anything those 3 years. He just kind of hung around and played Ghostbusters. He kind of lost a lot of character development about the SIP.
Not really.
This Jade too.
The only thing that
was
Jade,
alone all those
the
years.
only thing that Jade didn't do was she didn't date Dave Sprite, and that's it. She
Yeah,
didn't chase Jaspers around.
He wasn't different enough.
Yeah. She didn't watch Con Air. She's never seen Con Air. This Jade has never seen Con Air. There you go. The whole plot is ruined.
So yeah, not much different here.
No.
The only characters I can think of that are drastically different is Cockhat and Kanaya.
Yeah.
But those are
because they were affected by the pre-Green Sun retcon stuff. Vriska getting knocked out and half a murder stuck not happening and that kind of stuff. The kids were only affected after they meet up.
without the whole Gamzee arc, Cockhat just kind of lost his entire character. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
He lost his Gamzee arc and his Terezi arc.
Yeah.
It's just Dave now.
Yeah.
It's just with Dave.
But there was no setup for the Dave.
No, that's the joke. There's no setup.
I would sip Dave Sprite if they had a lot of talks in Act 5.
Things happening without setup is the ongoing joke of this act.
I know, but I like Cockhat talking to Kanaya, Jade, Gamzee, because those are characters we're familiar with and with because they had really long memos and character development together. I've read a lot of those characters talking, so I like it when they meet in the comic. But Cockhat and Dave, we've hardly had anything between them. So there was the one Mina Bound scene. Not Mina Bound, the one scene with the cape aboard the meteor. But that wasn't like a real relationship. They were just friends.
Yeah,
it's
that
not.
was pretty Rumpus Town.
From what Rachel said, it's mates put sip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rachel said it was mates put sip.
Yes.
And there was no setup for that in Act 5. It just sort of happened.
The fandom is the setup. The comic is now full-blown fandom humor, which won't make sense to people that are reading it.
Isn't the point to get people reading it after it's finished from Hive Swap to have a story that flows and makes sense?
No, he just cares about fandom jokes now.
I don't understand, because I was a new reader who wasn't a fan with Hive Swap. I would be like, what the heck's happening? Why is the comic only about Tuezi now and Whiskai? Mm-hmm. What happened to the rest of this?
Well, a lot of the things people have problems with the comic right now, a lot of the things that are going on is repeats of early Act 6.
Oh yes, a lot of that.
Yeah, I wasn't around then, but from what I've heard, it's really similar to what is happening now. There's too many new characters. The old ones don't matter. They're taking a back seat. We're never going to see them again. This comics moving slow again. It's just reader jokes. It's all fandom humor.
Well, when I read my first read through of Homestuck, I got so hooked at the end of Act 2. Every day I read it non-stop, all the way till Cascade.
Yeah.
All the way. Cascade, my
yeah,
Chex Mix, and I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. As soon as Act 6 began, took a break from the computer for a whole week. Didn't read it. I was so done. I was like, nope, I will not be happy until I see what happened with the main characters.
Your OC became canon.
And you know what? I made myself read it going, I'm going to like these characters.
But
now,
Jane Bros.
No.
Jane Bros.
That was my horrible OC while reading the comic.
While reading Act 4 and 5, you had a girl version of John called Jane and a boy version of Rose called Bros.
Yeah, those are my terrible OCs. Don't talk about them. They apparently became canon. The irony is that after reading all of Act 6 and trying to like these characters, I still don't like the Alpha Kids. I don't like them. I'm sorry.
They're fandom. They're like the Ancestors. They're made for fandom characters.
But the Alpha Kids tend to be you either don't like them or you really like them.
Yeah.
I just don't care for them. I don't hate them. I don't mind them. I just think, they're not that great. Swug.
Shrug.
Yeah, swug. Less swug, definitely.
You're copying Roxy. You don't like them. References them.
Roxy's okay. She's the passive one. The rest of them,
she's the one Hussey chose to be a main character now.
Oh, that's kind of... Oh, wait a second.
That's because she's the arc character.
Yeah.
It was misled to make you think it was Jane. But Roxy's the arc character.
Yeah.
John, Karkat, Calibor, and Roxy.
Those are the 4 arcs.
It's similar how you lead to believe Calliope is the Cherub arc character, but it's really Caliborn.
Yeah. Follows his POV. He follows all the traditional rules of the comic. Hold on. We have to take a break because my mother is taking a picture during the podcast.
I'm taking a picture of you doing the podcast. Can you fix your hair on this side? It's bothering me.
Oh.
Right, Jeff, right there.
Oh,
Get it.
yeah. Fixing my hair.
Mom interruption for photo podcast. Okay, now you look.
Why is this?
Why is this happening? Please edit this out. Just please edit this part out.
Smile. Look at me. Okay, go back to your podcast.
Oh, you're gonna edit that out, right?
No,
Yeah, no,
No.
yeah.
it happened.
You're gonna edit that out because
Retcon it.
that ruins the flow of the podcast
But if I
and the
retcon
pacing.
it, you will still know that a picture of you was taken. You will always remember that, even though you're not supposed to remember that a picture of you was taken.
But it ruins the pacing and flow of it.
So
And
let-
I want a
let me-
steady
Let me
podcast.
ask you. Now, Luna, you had some sort of social media interaction this week, right?
With what?
Will you show me a thing where one of your characters, your Marlon B. Rando...
Oh, I got them on the San Diego
Yeah.
Comic-Con blog.
Good.
They do a thing where they asked, they have this weird, it's a fan-made San Diego Comic-Con blog, they do reports on it, and they have this weird obsession with Gerard Way, the Chemical Romance singer, and people asking if he's going to go to Comic-Con. People, all they do all day is tweet him he's going to go to Comic-Con. So they report how many. They're like, did they reach 100 yet?
No, but it's still like 15 to 20 per month.
Yeah, they're getting pretty close. So and that's at the same time, Gerard Way made a Homestuck joke on his Instagram.
He posted a pixel holding Fago, saying just clowning around.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Some people are like, no, he's not a Homestuck. He was making a reference to the Juggalo fandom. And we're like, that's worse. You don't want that. He's a Homestuck, okay? Let's just agree he's a Homestuck. So I sent him a B Rando tweet saying I can rando you now. You're a Homestuck. And I got on the blog.
He's added to the Wando list now. You're gonna Wando him?
Yeah, he can be randoed now.
Has Hussey responded anymore to the Wandos?
No, Hussey hasn't been active on Twitter much. Every few days, but nothing I could with good rando content.
Wasn't he going on about Metal Gear Solid just like a few hours ago?
He was, yes. Toby was they're yelling about what games he has to play to understand the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and Toby was like, "You have to play on what is this game? What is
Undertale."
Toby's? Undertale." And Hussey's like, "Oh, that makes sense. They both have convoluted plots."
Oh.
And then me and all the randos were tweeting at him, "Hussey, you're making fun of someone else's work for being convoluted."
Yeah, he was saying Metal Gear Solid was too convoluted for
Yeah.
him. He won't play it.
IBG was going on about someday Hussey says he's gonna finish Homestuck and play games. Never gonna happen.
He's never. Maybe Hive Swap, right? That's just part of his nightmare still.
Mm-hmm.
He's never going to end it, ever. Especially with the amount of stuff he's done now to the comic with the retcons. Oh my god. How do you go anywhere with this now?
He's gonna wrap it all up really quickly.
Now, are you guys going to Retcon? I heard it's gonna be
Retcon.
It's gonna be up in the Bay Area. Retcon. They were gonna have it. They keep rescheduling it, and then it's happening again. Then they reschedule it. Retcon.
But like, where do you go? How is he gonna do this? He's gonna slip somewhere and mention the Gamzee Cockhead on. I know he's going to do it. You know what? Mark my words right now. I'm taking a bet. I almost guarantee that when we get Cockhead's next section, he's gonna follow the pattern that's been going on and reference something that didn't actually happen to him because there was 2 months of his story retconned.
I don't know.
I mean, we already had Dork slip
Carcat
and
makes
Dave
sense,
slip.
though, because of Cankry.
Yeah, but what about Dave? What about Dork?
What's gonna happen next? Jade's gonna wake up and make something about in-game shipping.
Yeah, what was that about?
That was Rose making fun of how every time someone wakes up and a new character enters, they do something to make fun of how narrative is set up in fictional works.
So Jade's gonna wake up and start.
Ranting about shipping.
Yeah, it could happen.
She's gonna wake up and get together with like aerosol sprite or something. In-game ship confirmed.
Oh God. And then she also said Cockhead wouldn't be too happy about that.
Yeah, because his love for shipping.
What, Jade Cat?
No,
BYB said it actually is Jade
they've
Cat.
never even met.
BYB says Rose said Cockhead would be upset because Cockhead has romantic feelings for Jade, and that's why Cockhead would be upset. And that it's also a sip tease for what the next arc's gonna be.
That makes sense if it was still old Carcat because of the Meetabound password, but that's not old Carcat. This Carcat was with Dave for 3 years. I don't think he cares about Jade anymore. Sorry.
I miss old Cockhead. But, like, it doesn't even matter that it was Jade. Just that old Cockhead realized that he still had friends he cared about. You know? He said he really wanted to talk to Kanaya and never got to. He said he missed Jade and his Will friends. He's worried about Gamzee. He was worried about Tuezi too. Like, he really genuinely cared about people. And now he just kind of sits there with Whisker basses on all of his friends. Like, what happened to anyone standing up for themselves in this comic? The only thing we had is Carcat defend Dave in front of Whisker. When that happened, I got so excited because I thought Carcat was going to take over as leader finally and try and redeem himself.
He can't end his story arc.
Oh, why not?
Carcat's whole story arc is him trying to be the leader and failing. The end of his story arc is finally deciding he can't be a leader anymore.
Yeah, but it needs to be better than just a sprite mode of him sitting on the platform saying, I'm not going to be leader anymore. Well, that's not how you end his arc.
No. The ultimate end to his arc is in the heat of battle, middle of a flash, he finally has to have not a long rant to decide to be the leader, but in 2 seconds he just has to make a decision and be the leader.
Yeah.
He needs to wake up from the cave, walk out to see everyone dead, and take control of the situation immediately. Like, not even a 10-page scroll or a long rant about you guys need to get back up and... No, he just needs to say a command and save them all.
Yeah, that's how you end his arc. But arcs don't end. Will said it herself.
Yeah.
She's saying arcs don't end.
Dave says arcs don't end. There's no arcs.
That's right.
No arcs, Rose. We're people. We don't have arcs. And Rose's like, what do you mean you don't have arcs?
But you have to remember, Rose likes to psychoanalyze people. Of course he knows people have arcs. Mm-hmm. She studies people back in her pestalogs.
She has the psychological knowledge of a 13-year-old on Google. She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. She knows all about character arcs and how her whole life is a webcomic.
She's read enough books.
Yeah.
She's read enough Harry Potter to know how a story ends.
So she looks at her life that way, and that everyone has an arc in a story they must finish. And she's kind of mad that it isn't that way. So it's also Hussey's way of saying, look, I know the comic's bad, but look, the characters think it's bad.
Background of Rose's character. She has a lot more emphasis on reading books and novels than is prominent in the comic. She mentions that kind of stuff a lot. She writes one. But it's never on, like, you look at your bookshelf. You like reading the Harry Potter books. It's one of your favorite. And it's all these different fictional...
It's not in her
preteen
intro.
Fantasy books all lined up. She never did that.
The one hint in the intro is look at the Wizardy Hobart art. But how are you going to know that?
They never point out.
There's
sketch drawings in the back of her room of a character from a book that won't be leaked out until 4 years later.
Yeah, but you had to know.
You had to know that.
That's a wizard parody book. C likes those types of books. C likes reading. Okay, there, done. And then that's why you get all references later on. But do you think we'll see any into an arc?
No.
Ever?
Eventually, maybe. In the in-game low page count, high content count stuff he keeps talking about.
This stuff's never gonna happen.
He says it is. Mid-July he runs out of pages, and we'll see what hiatus he announces.
He's not gonna go directly in-game. Something is gonna go wrong.
He said that there's a little more left of just regular updates with panels and a lot of talking. There's a little bit more. And that he was going to finish drawing that, and mid-July these pages would run out, but you wouldn't catch the transition because he's just going to post another calendar page and continue on.
What was my theory earlier? I said something about the comic breaking. What was it again? About how we're going to get another Doc Scratch segment? How was I going to say that?
The MSPA reader has been too prominent.
That's right.
The end of this character select screen, we're not sure where the comic's going to go. Because for some reason, he just laid out 10 updates, and then the battle's supposed to start. But
and then the comic ends suddenly.
And then the comic's suddenly over. That's it, the end.
So here's what I'm thinking.
We have till mid-July and a little bit on, so we have at least 30 to 40 more updates.
So here's what I'm thinking.
But only 10 pages of more generic talking before Hussey has to do something.
So here's the thing. First off, I'd like to point out that the MSPA Weedle being prominent here disproves your theory that MSPA Weedle was whipped up in 5 seconds. Because that goes with MSPA Weedle meant to break down.
But the page count's off. And it's too weirdly put in with exactly what we were talking about that week on the Reddit.
Yeah, he's prominent in this update.
Yeah.
Is it cool to you that Hussey's just completely lying and he's just doing this?
He's just making it as he goes along.
That's probably what he's doing. Because how was the MSPA Weedle a part of this update?
Yeah.
If MSPA Mental Breakdown was not planned as part of the schedule, yet it is. Here's what I'm thinking. We are going to get a final Battle Flash, and it is going to be crazy, and we're going to go, oh my god, it's the end of Homestuck, and some big stuff's going to happen in 5 seconds. The Cornel Sprite's gonna get prototyped with most likely Beck. Some characters are probably gonna die.
And then Homestuck Part 4.
Yeah. Here's what's gonna happen. The MSP Weedo's finally gonna suit himself. And that cuts us off, because we technically are the Weedo. So the MSP Weedo finally pulls the trigger on that gun he's been holding for since Problem Sleuth, right?
Yeah.
When he finally pulls that trigger, we get cut away from Homestuck itself.
Because we can't read it anymore.
Because we can't weed. And that's our intro into the fourth part and final part of Homestuck. What he finally does
Which
get
will
on
be
with
a
things.
Doc Scratch segment, but it's going to be like Death from Problem Sleuth.
Something really weird. I'm thinking Calliope. I don't know how, but I
All
think...
Callie is Death from Problem Sleuth. That would still work.
Yeah, it could be Alt Callie with a
She
tome.
has to do a thing that will make sure that the comic reaches its conclusion, and that Caliborn doesn't mess with Maida so much that we lose it.
So I wouldn't be shocked if she walked up with a tome and said, "Here, have some panels."
I could see her talking to you, the reader.
Yeah.
She's the type of character to do it, because she represents death. She represents the opposite of Caliborn. Caliborn's whole intent... Lord English's whole plan is to put the comic to an end and made a sense. By cracking the panels, and young Caliborn by doing his anime stuff instead of the real comic. Alt Callie is designed to save the world from Lord English, which is a Maida thing. So she'd have to be Maida too to counter him.
Yeah. And what better way to do it than with extra panels?
Yeah.
Now,
Hey, hold on, look at that. Calliope making extra panels. Muse of space.
yeah. And even though it will most likely be Hussey drawn panels, the transition will probably be one-off Selby panels. Because didn't she mention that she drew something?
Something.
She drew something. She can't say what, but
She mentioned on Twitter that she was spending some of Andrew's money.
and
so she
on
got commissioned
Tumblr,
for something.
someone said, "Will we see any more Callie drawings?" She said she can't say.
She can't say.
So there's more Callie drawings. She's not gonna draw the rest of the comic, but when we see those tome pages, it's probably gonna be a bunch of Selby drawings that, when you click them, lead into Hussey pet drawings.
Yeah.
And there you could get the final arcs. And to prevent a final battle, when it gets cut off and the MSPA Widow suits himself, it's gonna be like the Gold Pilot flasks. When we go back with the tome panels from Calliope, it's gonna be the aftermath of Carcat waking up to everybody dead. That's what's gonna happen.
Look at this. Claspect is really, really closely related to the Maidenness. Rose, seer of light, seer of knowledge. She's the one realizing that the plot is off, because seer of light, seer of plot.
Yeah, okay. She's all about getting...
Yes.
Whiska's all about getting attention.
Vriska, thief of light,
Yeah.
stealer of plot, which is what she did.
She takes the plot away.
John, heir of breath, becomer of wind and relationship between people. And that's what he did by flowing through the comic and changing relationships.
Yeah.
He's more active than he should be as an heir, but he did flow through the comic changing relationships. Cerezi, Seer of Mind, which is we've seen from Seer Ascend, is alternate paths and cut off timelines, and she's able to see the retcon in the comic.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have Caliborn. Caliborn is Lord of Time, and you're thinking that doesn't have anything to do with retcons. What is that? Lord of Time? What is he? Doctor Who? No. Lord of Time. He mentioned that he had the Ring of Void and that he was using it to spy on important events throughout the story. And that means a lord is actually rather passive. He doesn't do anything. He just overwatches the kingdom. So Caliborn is in his little control room using the Ring of Void just to overwatch the comic, the land. He's the Lord of the Time. And he has this tower, which can watch throughout things. Like, I'm imagining a security guard in a museum sitting there watching the whole thing.
That's Caliborn.
That's Caliborn. He just sits in a room. He's the Lord. He just overwatches it.
Okay.
Calliope's the muse of space, the creator and shaper of space. So she's going to do something with that, probably by creating panels and moving the comic forward in a creative, artistic sense.
By making a tome of Selby art.
Yes.
That's a perfectly fitting thing. What is that music?
There's breaking news.
Oh, okay. What about Night of Blood? It was specifically mentioned that Carcat doesn't know what blood means.
No.
Like, that's important.
He thinks it's warrior, but we actually know it's trust and bonding relationships.
Yeah.
And that does relate to shipping and his love for rom-coms and stuff, But for the meta side of class spect, it relates to protector of order. So you mentioned he might be able to realize what's going on, but he's not like Rose pointing it out to everyone, and he's not like John trying to actively change everyone. He's trying to protect the timeline. He's a knight. Dave is too. Dave is protector of time.
But he's not really protecting the timeline. He's not.
He should. Well, pre-game over, Dave just refused to use time travel, so he wasn't living up to his potential. So Dave will eventually start using time travel to live up to his potential.
But just not now.
Just not now. Not till he comes out to Dirk and realizes his class spect.
Yeah. And what about Gamzee, Bard of Wades?
Bard's a bard, Austin.
What does a bard do?
A bard just does stuff, random, whatever.
Yeah.
Gamzee's done that in both literal and meta sense.
What about like what's another one? Give another example.
You've gone through almost everyone. Who else is on the lily pad? Is that
Roxy.
On the lily pad? Roxy. Roxy just did it with Callie. Ruga
Yeah.
Void, she can take things that don't exist.
Yeah.
She grabs Callie, and Rose's immediate reaction is, why is she here? She has no meaning to the plot. She's no reason to be here. She shouldn't exist. She's nothing. She's nothing to the plot. Well, Roxy's whole point is to steal things that are not important to the plot. That are from Void.
Okay.
And she could place things into Void, which didn't work.
Yeah.
She placed Cal into the Void, but rather than taking him out of Meta, it placed him everywhere in Meta, the opposite of what she wanted.
Doesn't happen yet, though.
No.
It is going to happen? I mean,
I think everyone should be scared about Equius. As Era Void, he's destined to be unimportant.
Wow, that is... But the irony is that he is important. He's Lord Inglis.
Yeah.
But Lord Inglis will be his own defeat, so he's destined to be unimportant. See how that folds in on itself?
Yeah. He was sent into the Void by Cal, when Cal was sent to the Void.
Well, I guess that's about it.
Dirk, Prince of Heart, he can tear out people's souls, but he only ever does that to circuits, and when he does it, they lose canon interest. As soon as he started sucking Rainia out of her soul, she started becoming unimportant to the plot.
We still haven't seen her after she's died.
Of course, it was Mina or Acondas that did the final blow.
Yeah.
And as Thief of Life, in a comic where life represents importance, as soon as she flicked that ring off of Rainia was unimportant to the story.
And she hasn't shown up since. It's been almost a
She
year.
hasn't shown up since, because she's dead now, and dead people are important in Homestuck.
Well, I guess that's about it.
The mayor of McCann's. McCann.
He's a space player from what we can tell.
Yeah.
And
Because he's supposed to be the opposite to either Beck or Union Jack, maybe?
and Dave, that's time and space.
Time and Space with Dave.
And he can tell distances.
WV
Which is
is
a space thing, as we
There's
can
a
tell
lot
from
of green
Jada.
and red in the comic, and whenever there's an extra red, WV's normally there to be the green.
Dave.
To Dave and to Carcat and to Little Seb,
Yeah.
to Beck, to AR. AR only eats red meat.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
WV only
Okay.
eats green.
Huh.
Little Seb shows up with a green and red eye, so he eats the green.
Is it possible for the Mayo to God to?
No.
No.
It's possible for him to prototype with the ring, or to sprite with the kernel.
Mayo Sprite? It's green. The glass kernel's
Maybe
green.
that could be it. My old WV theory that was kind of jokey, we just didn't have the information then. I wrote down, I have no idea how he's going to do it, 0%, but WV's dream leads me to believe he will prototype without a ring. Well, now we have an extra kernel, and that really could happen.
What if it's GCat in WV?
That could work.
It's green. He's part
But
dog like
probably
he became his dream.
he'd be part dog in the dream. Now he'd be part cat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it.
But Roxy's thing with Exiles, maybe?
Yeah.
She watched Cats and Exiles.
Hmm.
And it would tear him away from PM. It'd be a dog and a cat. They could never get along.
Oh. PM's gonna take off the wing for like the first time in so long, isn't she?
Maybe.
What if she gave it to WV?
Maybe. She is the postal carrier. She's supposed to deliver things.
Give the wing to WV.
Maybe not WV.
Who would she give it to then? Jade?
No, he only works at a carapace's hand, so I guess WV.
Who else would she give it to? Alpha
But
and...
WV doesn't want the ring. He saw the ring as the tyrant's weapon. He killed all his friends. He doesn't want to put the ring on.
Yeah. So, what would PM do with the ring if she were to live with it?
I don't know.
Condis?
I don't know.
I don't know. WV has to obey the Condis at some point, too. That's another thing Hussey has to wrap up, because he set that up, too.
Because WV talks about how much he loves Tab, and whichever witch concocted this elixir must be reserves your fear and respect. Well, that was created by the Condis, the Witch of Life, so...
Yeah.
She's literally the witch who concocted it.
God, there's so much. I mean, I forgot the Condis was still even in this.
The Condis is still a major thing. She's on Durst with Roxy's dead body and Diamond's Droog.
Wow. And, the kids are just gonna sew up and beat her up? John, Roxy,
And Dad Egbert's
Rose.
there, too.
Yeah, Dad Eggbert, too, but...
They left him there because he was safest there.
Father's Day update with him?
So Father's Day update is Roxy Callie.
Oh. Oh. No Dad Eggbert? Did we get a Father's Day update last year? Yeah, we
There was
did.
nothing last
That
year.
was Stern Fatherly Confusion. Oh, no,
Last year
no.
was Gigapause. 2 years ago was Stern Fatherly Confusion.
That was 2 years ago? Wow. Wow, that was 2 years ago. Wow, nothing has happened in the comic in 2 years. That is... Wow. I mean, hopefully things get moving again. Things get good in the comic. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it.
Are we wrapping up?
That's
Are
it.
we wrapping
What?
up?
You're at a show?
Wait, no, we got a few things left. I released my Gmod map. We can mention that.
Oh, yeah. Talk
HS
about
Meteor
that.
for Gmod. It has been released since May, but it's in beta. But it's fully done now. If you play Gary's mod, you can download it from the workshop. It's Carcat Wake Up and Seek the High Blood recreated for Gary's mod.
Does it have any... Can I turn to call?
How do they access it? How do
If you
they
have
get to
Gary's,
it?
if you have Gary's mod, then from your library go to the Gary's Mod workshop where you can install new add-ons for your game and just look up Homestuck or HS_Meteor or become Imp. It'll come up anyway.
Austin, why don't you plug your hat business?
There's nothing to plug about it. I mean,
He hasn't made any yet.
I haven't made any hats.
But
I mean,
you buy and sell hats,
Oh, he buys
right?
and
That's
sells
what I
hats,
mean.
yeah,
Those are all like quick transaction with mostly with bots.
yeah.
But people who listen might be on the game that want to interact with you just to go, hey, I got a hat from the guy from 91
Yeah.
Reasons.
Yeah,
You
I-
autograph your hat.
Yeah, I'm,
People TF2 do that.
I'm Goot My Flies, GUNTMYFRIS at FR. No, I messed up.
Wait,
FRIES.
let's try that again. Let's retcon that.
GUNTMYFRIES.
There you go.
Goot My Flies.
There you go.
It's Adventure Time reference. And
Is that your current username, or have you momentarily switched to like Super Yiffy Aqueous or something for Cuttlefish and Co?
Super Yiffy Aqueous. I'm going to have to look in my history. That's a new one. I mean, I'm not trying to sell mutts. Mostly just stuff in the market. A specialized kill streak, Clyde Demore with team sign.
Go on the market, look up Clyde Demore.
I'm charging more for mine because it has special stuff in
Buy
it.
it.
And then I'm trying to sell the Popeyes Craft 34. This is the 34th Popeyes ever made for your pyro. It's big
The
googly eyes.
413 guy hassling us.
That's why I collect
He's
home.
probably listening right now, like, oh, those are the guys, get them!
I collect Homestuck craft numbers in TF2. Whenever you
So does this other guy.
Okay, so whenever you make a hat in TF2, it's assigned a number.
given
Sort of
an-
like the next
an ID
generation.
number.
Sort of like the next generation figures.
Yeah, like Star Trek reveals all
Yeah.
the numbers showing what number it was made.
So like hat number 2000, you know?
Uh-huh.
Well, I collect craft number 612, 1111, and 413. There's another Homestuck collector who wants all my hats.
yeah.
And he added me, and he said on my profile, "Hi, I need to talk to you about a few things."
Uh-huh.
Like, who is this guy? Oh no, he wants my hats. And then he put up a trade with all these different Homestuck collectors, telling you to go hassle them and take their hats, and then sell them to him. Like, dang, I didn't know the Homestuck craft collecting was such a serious business, but it is. This guy pays a lot. Like, he's willing to pay $4 or $5 a virtual hat just because of a number you can only see on special websites. But I like my craft numbers. I think they're special. And I don't pay any more for them, so I just think they're cool when I see them on trade websites.
I just think they're neat.
Yeah, you know, I got a
Marge with the potato.
pyro head that sort of covers up his face, number 413, so I renamed it to the Wayward Vagabond 413. But this guy wants him. That's my only one 413. Just that one.
I think I have a fish and
Oh, you know what?
a boot.
I have a pair of crocodile skin boots number 413. And he wants to pay me like $5 for those boots, but they're one of a kind. I can't sell those boots, man. Plus, I put a lot
the
of...
booties.
The booties? Oh, those are 1111. He doesn't want those.
Yeah.
I named them Jake's Booties 1111. I greatly treasure those booties.
Greatly treasure Jake's booties.
Yes.
That's nice.
And what else?
Dirk does too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be at Anime Expo Friday, July 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're going to Anime Expo Los Angeles, let us know on the Facebook page. I'll be in the lobby most of the day while you guys are running around like complete Homestuck guys. You'll be at the Homestuck meetup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? In the lobby downstairs, Homestuck meetup, Anime
You don't
Expo.
even need a ticket to go to it.
And then Comic-Con is on the horizon, like a week or two after that. Then Scare LA. Then YesterCon. And then Kamikaze. Your year is planned.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, your sister wants to go to VidCon. So we're out and about. Let us know. You can like us on Facebook, 91 Reasons. Check out our Patreon page. You can support the show, patreon.com, patreon.com. Search 91 Reasons. Thanks for listening. Sorry we were gone a week, but hey, it was our own Gigapause. It's the world's shortest Gigapause is what that was. So we're back, episodes every week. Thanks for listening. I am the voice. I am Jeff Tucker. I am joined always by our Homestuck experts.
Austin.
Luna.
And together we are 91 Reasons.
Thanks for listening to 91 Reasons. Please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. Find us on Facebook. Is anyone even still listening?